Okay, here we go. Hey, everybody. Sorry for the late start. Hope everyone's joining in today. Nod wildly if you could hear me. Okay. It's kind of lame for wildly. I was more, but okay, we'll go with that. Thank you,
I
Dina.
don't have my makeup on yet.
Oh,
So
okay. So
I'm in my pajamas.
yeah. Okay, here we go. Getting everybody in here. AI voicemail and AI operators. Anyone using them? Aside from Greg, who's got a little, no, Greg doesn't have anything. Ken, Hedeka? No? Okay, good. Then this meeting is for you because we're going to be talking all about that stuff. It's kind of cool and it's kind of interesting stuff. There's two different tools that we're going to be talking about. Actually, there's probably more than that, but we've got a few different tools that we're actually using here. And there's certainly plenty of companies that are putting this stuff together. Um, uh, and as I say in all these meetings, this is a real moving target. This is something that's evolving really, really quickly. We see all sorts of tools that are just popping up right now. The promise of having outbound telephone calls is getting closer and closer. Today, we're really going to focus on inbound calls, those calls that you really oftentimes don't want. It could be a spam call. It could be um, just somebody, you might have a listing that's wildly popular but terribly misunderstood. For example, I live in a country club. I talk about that all the time. It comes with a membership fee that does not necessarily carry over. The message isn't always clear on something like Zillow. Um, and it's a deal killer. So if you get so many people calling in for a particular property, let's say they see, wow, I could get a $500,000 home in Boca Raton. Woohoo, it's great because this is a fairly expensive town. What they might not see is that that comes with a $300,000 membership that you have to buy, and then tens of thousands of dollars a year in or entry fee, and then tens of thousands of dollars a year in actual membership costs. So, with all that said, they call you in total innocence, and you're supposed to answer all those calls. Wouldn't it be great to put that off to an operator? That's something I said to myself years ago, and now I've got those tools to actually do it, which is kind of neat. So I'm going to be getting into that here. I just need to open up my other screen. Again, don't adjust your television set. It's just Ed screwing around. Record. Okay, there we go. So I'm getting the screen together, and I'm going to be able to show all of you all this. Just a couple things want to get uh, want to get to some of the problems. And again, these are just some of the statistics that we researched here. 62% of inbound real estate calls after 6 p.m. go to voicemail. You could change whatever time that you're actually not working. If anybody thinks that there's certain times, particularly, I'm always wondered if the people on the West Coast have more of a problem than the people on the East Coast because everyone automatically assumes it's Eastern time. Uh, I think that might, and again, that might be my bias because I'm on the East Coast. So Kenny, feel free to throw a pie at me. Um,
No, I've got a call already this morning at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
So
The problem is real, and I say this because the next step is to tell you that it's going to cost a little bit of money. Anyone running yet? Okay. It's going to cost a little bit of money that these things the answer is that it could be as little as a couple $100s a year and up. And when I mean up, it could go significantly up. Um, So when you look at this, other stats that you've got a 7 minute window before the lead conversion drops below an 80% chance. It goes from an 80% chance to, far, far less if you wait more than 7 minutes. Um, you got three times a higher show rate when booked by the original call. So you could actually use these tools to actually book the meetings for you. I'm going to be showing you a tool that I have right now that connects to my Google Calendar, and if I want to, I could have people book through that particular calendar. This is going to come in great for things like open houses, things like the various tools that you might use. I mean, you could just imagine some things. You could create a calendar for a specific event. Our team has a calendar. We're not using it enough for our vacations. We're a small enough team so that we're able to actually talk about it. But I think we really do need to take an emphasis on the calendar. So there's three components that we're actually going to be talking about. The midnight call catcher, or in the case of Kenny Bellini, the 5 a.m. call catcher. I don't want Kenny, I need you to get your sleep. Okay, I need you to sleep. So we're going to be able to talk about how that works. We're going to talk about an instant booking machine and how the calendar integration actually works. And then we're going to also talk about the CRM and what's going on. It can get extremely complex, doesn't have to. So there's, like I said, two things that I want to show you right now. And let me just request the screen. Send request. Okay. So first time I'm actually working this way. Can everyone see my iPhone? Isn't that neat? Okay. I think it's kind of cool. Okay, so there you see my iPhone, and we're going to go into something called Beside. Beside is a digital operator, and like I'll click on it here. And it works very, very much like anything else. I'm paying, I believe, $150 a year per telephone line. I've got three lines in this, and all of these things offer a chance for you to try it for free. What I would like, actually, who's free to make a call right now and could put it up to their voicemail and could put it up to the phone here? Who wants to do it? Yes, Ed, I'm dying to do it because I really want to participate. Sure, Ed, I'm going to do it right now. Come on, guys, who's going to do it?
Hey Ed, this is Hassan. I'll call you.
Oh, what a buddy, Hassan. You see, I could always count on you. Let me just go here. Okay, Hassan, if you could write this down, 424-587-0840,
Okay.
and give that a buzz, and let's take a look and see if we could see what's actually happening here. You got to put on speaker.
This call is recorded. To opt out, please ask the other party to stop recording. Hi, you've reached the Edmund Bogan team at Bogan.ai, the creators of Prompt to Close, the AI playbook for real estate professionals, available now on Amazon. Are you calling about integrating AI into your business or joining our exclusive mastermind? Just let me know what you need, and I'll guide you from there.
Yeah, I'd like to join the mastermind.
Nice, that's awesome to hear. Can I get your name and the best email to reach you? I'll make sure Edmund's team gets you all the info to join the mastermind.
Yeah, my name is Hassan Bazi, and my email address is hassan.bazi2020@gmail.
All right, Hassan Bazi. And just to confirm, that's HASSANBAZZI2020@gmail.com. Got it. Anything specific you're hoping to get out of the mastermind, or just looking to dive in and see what it's all about?
Just want to see what it's all about.
Yeah, totally makes sense. The group covers a lot, so you'll get a good feel for how it all works. I'll pass your info along, and someone from Edmund's team will reach out soon with next steps. Anything else you want to ask about the mastermind or Bogan.ai while you're here?
Yeah, is there a fee for the mastermind?
Yeah, there's a fee to join the mastermind. The exact pricing can vary depending on the level of access and any current promos. Edmund's team will send you all the details when they reach out. If you want, I can also flag that you're interested in pricing info specifically. Sound good?
That sounds good.
All right, I'll make sure they include all the pricing details when they follow up. We'll follow up shortly. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, bogan.ai, where you can get answers to many questions that you may have.
Okay, you can hang it up if you want. So good, bad, 6, 7, maybe. Okay.
No, that
So
was good.
yeah, not bad, not bad. Now let's talk about the failure points for in these things because first of all, to get it to do what it just did was not an easy feat because there was a lot of things that we have to do timing. If there's background noise, there's still some problems. I'm not going to sell you guys on anything that does, and not tell you about the potential downside to it. That said, it's getting better and better and better. I think that that's worth $150 a year. I just do. I just think that that particular tool is quick, it's down, it's dirty. It's not as good as the next one that I'm going to show you, which is a company called Retell, because Retell we're going to actually do a lot more. And thank you, Hassan. I appreciate you participating here. Um, it's not Retell is going to take a little bit more programming, or I should say a lot more programming. It takes knowledge bases. It speaks languages. Hassan, it speaks Arabic. It speaks French. It speaks Spanish if you want. You could set this up in many, many different ways for many different uses. But again, like so much of what I do in these meetings, I'm telling all of you, you've got to begin with the end in mind. What really is your mission in working with this stuff? What exactly do you want to accomplish? And it's more than just being your operator. What type of stuff do you want it to really know about? Now, if you notice, Hassan, you asked the perfect question. You led right into it. So, how much is it? Well, again, it really does depend because some of you are coaching with me. Some of you engage just to build AI systems for you. So, it's very, very important not to set someone off. Also, despite what some people might say about AI, and you might find it surprising to hear from me, I believe that the human element still has to be in it. I believe that the type of thing that I do need to leave, and I think you do too, you need to leave your clients into some type of suspense to be able to speak to you about pricing. It's terribly misleading. If I tell someone that something costs this, you could take your date to a soup kitchen for dinner, or you could take her to a cirque. Now, in which case are you going to get a second date? Both you're eating dinner in both situations. People need to understand value. And I think that that's something that you need to really consider. What ways would you use this? Let me just, go around here and see Karen and Leslie and Eva. How would you use, you could just unmute yourselves. How would you use this type of technology?
How would I use it? I would use it to accept calls, I guess, outside of the normal timeline. Not to mention very busy days when I'm on the phone and the calls go to voicemail and I miss those calls entirely.
Okay.
That would be a utilization point for me.
Okay. Good. Anyone else? Any other thoughts? I know you weren't expecting this question. Yeah, Eva's making a face.
Just
I would
go ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead, Hassan.
No, I was just going to say, so let's say I've got, 5 listings. Could I program it with information about the 5 listings so that when someone calls, those are answered before they get to me?
Fabulous. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Not only that, but you could probably, and it's a little old school because everyone uses GPS, but you could even set these things up. And truth be told, I haven't done it yet. I know you can. I've seen someone do it. You could set it up to text the driving directions to the person based on where they are. So if somebody says that they're at 1234 Banana Street and they need to get through to 3456 Apple Street and 2 towns over, once it has that, it's able to calculate that and send and text the directions back to that person. Again, it's a little overkill in today's world when we all have GPS and we all have our own phone. For the old timers here, I think people could, that would have been a great technology a long time ago. But it's interesting stuff. Eitan, you were about to chime in.
No, no.
Okay.
Okay, Eva's about to chime in. Eva, please tell everyone who you are and where you are, please.
So I'm in Miami in the Coral Gables office.
Great.
So I'm thinking since I don't have listings, I could just ask my teammate for some of their listings, ask permission, and maybe just get called from there and have their answer or not.
So what you're saying is that if you speak to somebody, let's call it this way, somebody who's willing to let you advertise their property, right?
All right.
So now you're going to be able to do some type of social media or something and have the calls come into that number?
Yeah, can we do
Brilliant.
something like that?
Brilliant. Why not? If you notice, I put the disclaimer on there in the beginning. Oh, it brings me to a very good point, and I'm glad this is being recorded right now. You need to check your individual state and federal laws on recording. It's very, very important because they're going after us. It's open hunting season, particularly on realtors. So make sure I did find that little disclaimer in the beginning a little annoying. It took a little bit more time out of it than I'd like, but I also like my license and I like to not spend money on fees and fines or getting sued. So those are all those things I like very much. But Eva, that's a very, very good use. I was saying before, open houses, you could dedicate a number to an actual property and have a complete knowledge base on that. Greg, please unmute yourself and shine some intelligence upon all of us.
No, I have a question to try to get intelligent. Can it be
Okay.
trained to answer unrecognized or unknown numbers only?
So, in other words, if they see that it's your best friend calling, can it just let it ring out to you?
Right. Somebody in my contact list, for example, let
The,
it come through and otherwise answer it and tell them I'm not donating to any political organization.
the short answer is yes, anything with technology like this can be programmed. The longer answer is personally, I've not done it yet, but I'm the kind of guy that figures everything out. So the short answer is that if we were to install a system for you today, I would say, great, we could do all of this. However, it's going to take us a little while to figure out what the downside is to this particular, to figure out how to actually integrate that. But yeah, it's a
Do
good
you
question.
charge by the hour?
I charge by the second. You kidding me?
Okay.
Yeah, no, I actually no, I get paid in spaghetti dinners and chocolate cake and that type of thing. That's how I like to get paid now. Would it be better than plain voicemail? I hold on, I just lost. Leslie, can you unmute yourself and ask your question? I think you had a good one. Is Leslie free? I don't know where her message went. Would it be better than plain voicemail for when you are out of town or on vacation? I think it would be
I'm
better.
here. Can you
There
hear
you
me?
are. Okay, tell us what you meant.
Um, well, when I'm out of town, I just check my voicemails like every 5 minutes. So I was wondering, as opposed to going to voicemail like regular calls, and I do not want to put, oh, I'm out of town, because somebody that might call me say, okay, well, I'm going to go list with somebody else. So would it be more? I don't know what the word is, more engaging, more better. How's that for bad
I
English?
prefer more gooder.
Okay.
It's more gooder. Yes, yes, and yes. All of this stuff I think is really, really important. You're right. They say on vacation memo. We're never supposed to be on vacation. We're never,
Right.
ever, ever supposed to be on vacation. That's why I want all of you to be on a team. Then you could truly not all be on vacation because the team is functioning. Again, as a quick aside, remember the clients are paying you not for what you do, but for the service that you bring to the table. It doesn't have to be you specifically. When I go into a listing appointment, it's usually these days with Dina, it could be with Samantha, it could be with somebody else on the team. I always say that we're interchangeable, and I always play it up for what it's worth for them. The reality is, it's very much worth it for me. I love being able to go away knowing that there's not going to be a real issue, unless that guy Warren calls me. I'm going to give Dina a laugh out of that. Anyway, inside story. So, so yeah, I think it's really important to
Can
try and
I
decide for
interject?
yourself.
So I
Eitan, go
think
ahead.
one of the best use is also to qualify who's calling. I mean,
Yeah.
you get all those calls. If you don't do rentals and they want for a rental, you don't need to call them back. If they call and say, "Hey, I want a property outside of your farm area that you cannot service," you can qualify them automatically, or the intelligence in the AI will qualify them. Also, the connection to the CRM. So anybody that call, yes, it's so much better than a voicemail, because then the every call ends up on your CRM,
Mm.
and has a little explanation with the name, the number, and whatever information you were able to collect through that AI call.
Sure. So it is a master repository of this type of stuff. And all very, very well said. There is some great data that could actually be captured by these people. If there's, one thing actually now I love these meetings because it gave me an idea. Evil Knievel couldn't make this leap, but I'm about to. What you could do with this is when people start to leave a message and they're saying, well, we want to buy a home, let's say. Or we want to sell. No, here, a seller. I want to sell my home. I want to speak to Ed about that. Great. Where are you moving to? What are you buying? We forget that all the time as a category. There's two sides to the deal, always, unless the guy died. There's two sides to the deal. So, where are they heading? Oh, well, I'm moving to California. Great. I've got somebody I'm moving to Norfolk, Virginia. I would love to introduce you to Lavette. She's the greatest. Oh my God, you got to meet, now you got something else that's coming in here. So, Greg said, okay, for those of you who don't know who Evil Knievel is, Evil Knievel was a famous stuntman in the 1970s. Uh, and he leaped his motorcycle over, thousands of buses and always broke every bone. And anyway, that was the example that I was giving. I don't know how many of you, Eva, do you know who Evil Knievel was? No. Okay. Thank you, Greg. You brought up a good point. Okay, on to the next technology. Let me just show you here as we get better and better here. Okay, right now we're going to go to another technology. It's called Retell. Retell, before you saw something called Beside, please write that down, Beside. You could download that right now on your iPhone app and play around with it. And they ask you to buy a telephone number, and there's all kinds of whistles and bells that they could sell you. It is the basic service. It works. It's great. Go get it if you want to. If you want to step it up a bit and actually have a knowledge base, you're going to use Retell. At least that's what I do. And it gets a little bit more complicated, and you could spend hours and hours and hours making this. Let me just show you some of the things. First of all, some of the interesting features you'll see. You see that it's GPT 4.1, which is OpenAI, ChatGPT. The back end, the reason it knows so much is it's powered by this particular tool. So you can see what that's all about. We could also have a change of various voices. Now, right now, actually, I'm going to need to pull up my sound here. I'm sorry, guys. There we go. Right now, I've got Rita. Personally, I think Rita's a really good voice. Let's hear her.
Hi, this is Rita, your AI voice agent for Retell AI. I speak with a natural acoustic warmth to help you feel at ease.
Okay, so that's Rita, but you could go well beyond that to various people.
Ya sea una llamada o 100, estoy aquí para asegurar que todos reciban un soporte rápido, preciso y amable.
And foreign languages, obviously, that's pretty good. But you could get, if you want, say, a particular accent, you want a British accent, okay?
Whether it's one caller or 100, I'm here to ensure everyone gets fast, accurate, and friendly support.
Helping customers, saving money, and scaling your service. I do it all without skipping a beat.
Okay, and we could then take a look at, I guess there's no British men, but we've got, and only a couple of, interesting, I don't know why they only have so few men.
Helping customers, saving money, and scaling your service. I do it all without skipping a beat.
Okay, and now they make a middle-aged voice. I don't know what that means.
Hi, I'm Nico, an AI voice agent for Retell AI. I'm here to support you with a deep, calming voice that helps every interaction feel steady and clear.
It also has custom providers.
I like that guy.
Do you? Okay. So you could actually get in and use some of the custom providers where you could actually go in and guess what? Create your own voice. That's not what this meeting is about, but with 11 Labs, I have my voice and I just have to attach my account in 11 Labs to this, and it could answer the phone as your own voice. Personally, to me, it kind of defeats the purpose. I really want to have that feeling of somebody else that's actually there. You might not. One of the great things about all of this is that you've got choice. So you could do all of these things. Multiple languages. Again, if you have this, you can make it very clear that in Florida, I think something like 70, and Eva, you could correct me if I'm wrong. I think 75% of households in Miami speak Spanish. Is that somebody told me that statistic that 75, it's way over 50%,
Yeah,
maybe?
definitely. I'm not sure about the percentage, but definitely.
Okay. The point
Miami,
is,
especially Miami.
special Miami. So, and I don't speak Spanish, but if I ignore it, I'm an idiot. I mean, you got to go where the business is, and these tools are great at that. So let's go back here and take a look at a few other features on this, and we could actually walk you through what some of this is. One of the things that you're going to see is a knowledge base. And in here, I put knowledge about my team, who was asking about the properties. I think it was Hassan who was asking about your listings, or maybe it was Greg. One of you were asking about the listings. In here, I've actually built a knowledge base about the Edmund Bogan team. So when you actually call this number, and we will in a minute, you'll be able to hear a little bit about Dina, a little bit about Nicole, a little bit about, all of us. It has this. Then it actually gives the system prompt. So you can see this on the left side. AI receptionist system prompt. The Edmund Bogan team at Douglas Elliman Real Estate. Notice that this is not Bogan AI. This is my other company. You are the AI receptionist for the Edmund Bogan team. Sorry about that. Let me get rid of this. At Douglas Elliman Real Estate, a residential real estate team serving South Florida from Palm Beach to Miami. Your name is not important. You represent Edmund Bogan and his team. You are the first point of contact for prospective buyers, sellers, past clients, referral partners, and anyone reaching out to the team. It gives the role, it gives the type of greeting that we want to give, along with core information. And there's in your workbook, there's a prompt that you could use to get this thing generated. And this, let me go back to all of you. With all of this stuff, it's bouncing around. With all of this stuff, there's a limited amount of vocabulary that comes out of your clients. If you don't want to say it out loud, throw it out to me. What's going to be some of the things that a client's going to ask you? Buy side, sell side, it doesn't matter. Give me something that they're going to do. Come on, quick, 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 quick. Let's get somebody.
Can I set up a showing?
Can I set up a showing? Great. What else?
How much is it? What's the square footage? What's the maintenance? There's just, I mean, there's a whole list of questions that people would put out there.
Is it in a flood zone?
Available in the building?
Is there an HOA?
Okay, hold on. We'll get Eva and then Leslie. Eva?
Is it in a flood zone? That's what I
Is
got
the home in the flood zone? Okay, you'd have to get the knowledge base trained. Leslie?
Is there an HOA?
Is there an HOA? Great. So all of these things, you could take some time right now and make up the vocabulary of the calls that you get. It's scary how you could build a frequently asked question file within just an hour. I mean, you really could. That 85 or 90% of the questions that people ask is the same things over and over and over again, yet we're not prepared for it. I personally think that if you learn how to train an AI, you're actually going to be training yourself to answer some of these questions. Because when you see that this has done the wrong thing, you'll say, wait a minute, you got to answer it this way. And in itself, you'll be able to train yourself. Okay, go back here. If you guys have more questions, please throw them in. But this is basically the first set of information that it sees. And again, I could go on here. If the caller asks about Edmund's book, prompt to close, the AI playbook for real estate professionals, brought to you by Edmund Bogan, currently available on Amazon.com for only $19.95 and on Kindle for $9.95. I had to give that gratuitous plug. Okay, so it has all these different things that we've got in here. And if you start to make your own AI operator, you could certainly email it to me and I'll give you my opinions of what's going on. That's the knowledge base. I got a little ahead of ourselves. There's also something here called functions. Now, for those of you who've learned a little bit of Python or programming, I don't suppose it's too many of you, functions are a very well-known tool. And you've got to actually put this in at the end of the call, the transfer call, what's the actual instructions for transferring the call. Going to transfer to a human being. In this case, that human being is me. This is my telephone number. It could also have dynamic routing. If the user wants to reach support, transfer to this. If the user wants to reach sales, transfer to this number. So who was asking that question before? I want to know more about 1234 Banana Street. Yes, you can actually transfer to Dina, who's handling that, versus Samantha, who's handling another call. Again, all this takes several hours to put together, and it takes a lot of screwing up and fixing. You got to do it in what we call a sandbox because you don't want it screwing up in real time, although it does happen a little bit. You certainly don't want major misinformation sent out to people. But when you take the time to build it right, it's poetry, man. Um, how should the AI handle the transfer? Is it a cold transfer? It transfers immediately. A warm transfer? The AI gives a one-way brief to the agent. So maybe some of you, like I think Aton likes to get warned before the call comes in. I mean, Aton, you could say whether I'm right or wrong. Um, and there's multiple ways of choosing this. You could also check the transfer duration. If I'm working with a client right now, I don't want it to ring for more than 5 seconds. If I see that it's calling in, I'm not going to let it go for so many different seconds. I want it to just ring for just a little bit and be able to answer it. Every single aspect of the call is handled while this is going on. So you could really see that this goes into some great detail at the end of the call. Let's take a look. So end the call when the user has to leave, like says bye, or you're instructed to do so. Okay, not terribly complex, but every aspect of the call. You could also check the availability. And when I find this number, I'm going to give it to you guys, and maybe Hassan or somebody could make the call. But I've connected this to my Google Calendar. Actually, let's do that now. Where are my phone numbers? Okay. Who wants to make the call?
Want me to call?
Who's that?
It's Dina.
Dina, great. So 561 933 8819. You got that? You got to turn it up.
Yep. She just asked how she might help me. I'd like some more information about 200 East Palmetto Park.
Are you asking about glass?
We can't hear the phone.
Put it up to this monitor or something.
Yeah, Dina, we're not hearing this. Okay, who wants to make the call that can handle
Sorry,
actually
I've
making a
got
call?
my phone right up to my computer.
Oh, okay, I don't know it might be your mic. So let's quickly do this with somebody else. Who's got this for me?
Here, I'll do it.
Okay, thank you, Hassan. Let me get the number again for you.
Is it
It's in the chat.
561 933? I got it.
Oh, you put it in the chat? Thank you, Eitan.
Dina, you were great.
Calling the Edmund Bogan team at Douglas Elliman Real Estate. How may I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to know more about the Edmund Bogan team.
Edmund Bogan team is part of Douglas Elliman Real Estate and specializes in luxury residential properties across South Florida, from Palm Beach to Miami. Edmund and his team are known for their expertise in gated communities, country club homes, and waterfront estates, especially in Boca Raton and surrounding areas. Edmund lives in Street Andrews Country Club and is recognized for record-breaking sales and innovative AI-powered marketing. Would you like to know more about our services, specific communities, or are you interested in buying or selling a home?
Yeah, I'm interested in selling a home, and I want to know what you guys charge for commission.
Thanks for sharing. I'm not able to quote commission rates, but Edmund provides a complimentary comparative market analysis so you can see exactly what your home is worth and discuss all the details directly with him. Can I get the address of the property you're looking to sell?
Yeah, 123 Banana Street.
Thanks. Do you have a timeline in mind for when you'd like to list your home?
Right away.
Got it, Dina. And what's the best phone
number and email to reach you?
248-672-2185. And email is hassan.bazi2020@gmail.
Thanks, Dina. Just to confirm, phone number is 48-672-2185, and your email is hassanb2020@gmail.com, correct? Edmund will reach out to you shortly to discuss your home at 123 Banana Street, your timeline, and provide a complimentary market analysis. Is there anything else I can help with
Yeah, book a
today?
time with me.
Yeah, I want to schedule a time for this Friday.
I'll schedule a 5-minute chat with Samantha for you this Friday. You'll receive a confirmation shortly.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so we had several failure points there. I think it heard me say Dina when we were first talking because Dina was doing this. Obviously, this account needs to be tuned. The last one was much less of a fail. Interestingly enough, this is the more robust tool than the other one. So sometimes things do fail. I think that that's important to see. But it also shows you the challenge that you have when actually putting this stuff together. So I think that it's kind of important to understand that these things do exist in a sandbox. That particular number is is not published yet, so it's not yet ready for prime time. We will fix it, but Hassan, you've been the canary in the coal mine twice here, so I do appreciate that.
Sure, thanks.
I do appreciate that. Okay, feel free to jump in with other questions as you have them.
So, Ed, does it have your listings also
This
in
does
the
not this does not have
conflicts?
my listings. We're doing something here for a client where it has her current listings. As I always say to her, we will need to we need to consistently update this stuff, right? I mean, if you're not keeping this organized, then it quickly falls out of place. So we do have an engagement to be able to fix the listings on a weekly basis. If they want more, we're able to do that. Again, it is work, but I'll just say this: so is training a person. So is training an operator. I mean, don't expect it to work instantaneously for anything that you're actually doing. Working with somebody, whether you're training this or training an operator, people say, "Oh, it's so many hours." Have you ever hired an assistant and worked at so many hours that you put into that? It really is kind of the same thing. So that's what I want you to know. Dina, go ahead.
So I have a question. So obviously it saw me, in the call with Hassan, but it also said, so my question is can you put, are you attaching your schedule to it? Because it said it was setting up an appointment with Samantha for Friday. I'm not sure if that was Samantha Curry, whose listings you have in there, or our Samantha, but I'm assuming it doesn't have either calendar.
Correct.
So is it confirming an appointment that it can't really confirm?
That was a telco fail. Okay. So whatever was going on with that, as I said, it was going on in the sandbox that needs to be corrected. The short answer is you're right. It could have been Samantha Curry, a client, or it could have been Samantha Gornstein, who's on our team.
No,
That's
it's definitely Samantha Gorstein that is on the team.
Okay, so whatever it is, we need to tech that out and be able to make it work. If there's anything that you could really take from the meeting is, cost. So this one is a little bit different. You could buy a telephone number for a whopping $2 a month from Retell. They set it up through a company called Twilio, and you're paying, I believe, Eitan, correct me, 12 cents a minute.
Probably less, no?
I believe it's close to 12 cents a minute. It could be less. It's but all that said,
Well, it has different pricing depending on the AI model that you put behind it. And it has a choice of 10 different AI models, and it ranges from 6 cents to 40 cents, depending how intelligent you want it to be.
Sure. So maybe I've got an idiot working on that one because it didn't sound very good. Again, same thing with
I
the
told
company.
you gotta go with the max.
Okay. Aton loves to spend money on this shit. Okay, this is a little partner feud here, but go ahead, Greg. What's your question?
I just wanted your comment about the time and effort and investment that it takes to train a human. Another piece of this is it can't quit on you. Or if you want to fire it, you can retrain it, or pick a different voice or whatever. So
Sure.
there's that piece of it as well.
Sure. And it's not a one for one split. It's not going to be, I'd like to believe that we bring a human side to this, at least today. A year from now, maybe not so much. But today, I think if you ask, is a human receptionist better? It depends upon what you mean by better. This can certainly know the knowledge base. It could learn. We are now, or I should specifically say, Aton is working on connecting this to the IDX to get real-time listing information. So you could actually call it and say what's new in Boca Raton in the multi-million dollar, in the $2 million range. I want a $2 million 4 bedroom that came on the market in the last 2 days. We're going to be able to actually have that conversation with people. Again, we're not there yet, but it can be done. I mean, we know that the technology is there. We know that we're going to be able to deliver that type of thing. We also need to, as a company, know that there is a demand for that type of thing. I don't want to create tools that people never ever use. All that said,
Well, it's like your website. If your website just has your listing, it has only your listing. But if it's an IDX site that has everything in your region, it's much more powerful.
yeah,
And this could be the voice version of your website with intelligence built in.
yeah. It's all this. Leslie, what would it say if you told something like, I don't want to talk to Samantha, I want to talk to Edmund? Again, all of this can be programmed. You're asking great questions. We just haven't done it. And I think it's a new thing. I can't imagine a year ago I didn't even know about this stuff. We've been schooling ourselves very, very much on this. So can it change routes, Eitan? You're about to say, can it change? Can
Well,
it
I
shift
can
routes?
tell you that Retell is the more advanced tool than the first one you showed,
Then beside it.
and the level of detail that you could add to it is truly amazing. I mean, there's so many parameters that you can play with, from the speed of the voice to the delay to the way it answers to how aggressive you want to be to more like empathy. I mean, you can control so much
Hmm.
that it's truly impressive.
Yeah. And with something like 11 Labs, you could connect it and have Snoop Dogg answer your phone. Um, for those of you who don't know, Snoop Doggy Dogg is a popular musician. Okay, I don't want to assume anything here. But but on a serious note, you could do crazy things like that if you want. You may not want to, and nor should you. But I just want to get that out there. Okay, we're going to get to wants, needs, and brags. All this information is in the downloadable course book that we have. You could always call us as well. Just know that there's going to be more and more tools coming out all the time that are doing this type of thing. We will address this as it gets better and better to make outbound calls. A lot of you are saying, can it make the cold calls for me? At some point, I've yet to see something that's flawless. I've yet to see something that rises to the Edmund Bogan team level of communication that I would let go out there, but it's getting close. The biggest problem with any of this is when the person who calls you is outside and it's windy. You've got a problem with the background noise that's going on. What Retell does is there's a certain amount of delay that it would do, or it will cut out on background noise. But when you cut something out, you also lose a little something. You need to, that person better have a clearer voice. So I'm trying to judge how much how much time the person could wait, exactly what you really should do to keep this working in a way that makes sense to everyone. In any case, wants, needs, and brags. I want to talk about what you want, what you need, and what you'd like to brag about. Had a great week. Although I will say, has anyone noticed that Mercury has gone into retrograde? Anyone ever see it? I've never been like a Mercury into retrograde type of person, but there's been communication problems everywhere. And somebody said it's all because Mercury's into retrograde. Again, I'm not so much into this, but it's just kind of crazy how it went
Can
into
you explain
retrograde.
what that means?
What that basically means is the people who are into astrology say that when the planet Mercury moves in a certain direction, communications and all kinds of little things go awry for us humans. Uh, for example, my internet went out for 5 hours yesterday. Couldn't get a lot of work done, and I couldn't log on this morning, and there was issues with that, and there was all sorts of other stuff. Now, somebody would also say that you're situationally aware, that because you're thinking about it, if you say to yourself, red car, red car, red car, red car, and then you go outside, guess what? You're going to see a red car. People will say that that's part of it. I don't know. I just know that a lot of you, I've spoken to people in the past, are into that whole Mercury's into retrograde, so I just figured I'd share that. Who else wants, needs, and brags? Eva, you got something to brag about? You're running a marathon or anything?
Well, yeah, 2 weeks ago I raced uh, after a while and I got first place. I made podium. Yay!
Hey, how many people in the race?
Oh, in my age group we were about 50 something.
Wow, that's really
So I'm
cool.
very excited.
Wow, I won a race, but it was to Dunkin' Donuts. That's my
You won
race.
first place?
Congratulations. That's
Yeah, I
amazing.
made my podium in my
You got on
age
the
group.
podium, and yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's wicked cool. I think
it's
that
fun and exciting and wants me to go again.
Was it a running race?
Triathlon. It was
she's
intermediate distance, a triathlon.
so it was a sprint or it was
Intermediate.
okay, so
So
that's more than a sprint.
yes,
Hmm.
yeah, like
So let me understand. You ran, you biked, and you swam?
yes.
No,
Wow.
she swam, she biked, and she ran. Is that the order?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to swim first because you'll drown otherwise by the
Yeah,
end of all that.
definitely.
Yeah, yeah. So how far did you swim?
So it was 1K swim, uh, 20 mile bike, and 7K run. That's the intermediate distance. Getting ready for the big one.
Next time you race,
Fantastic.
I'll stand there like passing out donuts. I did that at the New York Marathon one time. People didn't
Oh,
find it
really?
funny. I thought it was hilarious, but anyway, good.
Well,
Well,
I'll
good for
ask you
you.
for chicken broth in the next one.
Who else wants, needs, and brags? Any deals? Any new listings?
I
Maybe
ran 6K.
you ran a six. Yeah, Eitan, you ran the marathon. Yeah, I remember that like 100 years ago, but I remember that. Um,
I did.
Kenny and Deneen, I'm going to be in California in 2 weeks. I hope to see both of you. Kenny, lunch again at Tartine, maybe. And Deneen,
Which day were you looking at?
we'll talk
Okay.
about it. Probably that Friday thing is what I usually like to do. And Deneen, I'd love to see you in Newport Beach if I can make it there.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Who else? Anyone? Anyone? Karen? Lavette? Deneen, do you have anything to brag about?
I ran a marathon years ago. Only takes one time to do it. That's enough.
Yeah. Then and you finished it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't it the most wonderful thing you could possibly do?
Yeah, once.
Aside from maybe having kids.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just throw something else.
Grandkids are better.
They probably are. I wouldn't know, but well. Who else? Okay, won't beg. Guys, good to see everybody. If anyone wants to stick around for some AI chat, we could certainly do that. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing all of you next week. We're going to be doing another installment soon of Claude Code because a lot of you had that question about it. I don't know if any of you have tried my gamified version of Claude Code. It's basically a game that I built that you could use to learn Claude Code. It's kind of fun. So if you want the link to that, definitely reach out to me. We will get that off to you. It's something to try. We built it with Claude Code, so it's kind of a neat thing. But we
Can you
will
just
be,
put it in the chat, maybe?
I just don't have it on me just the second, but I will try and pull it up. Other things to expect with AI, the US Department of Commerce said that they are allowing Claude to release its Fable 5 um, AI out again. This is the most powerful AI currently on the market. It's coming back into everyone's inbox or into everyone's Claude dashboard probably today, if not already in the
Is
meeting that we've had. Why
is
was it?
that what the issue was?
The issue was that they found that there was just too many security leaks that you could actually hack to get like the nuclear codes or something. I mean, they really made it so robust that you could do stuff. It also costs twice as much money. Now, Eitan and I were talking about what do we do with this? Why do we want to spend twice as much money using this stuff? When we build an app, what we will do is review the app with Fable 5. In other words, we'll pay double the amount at the end to see where the problems might be, to see where every app has bugs. Every app, Microsoft Word, I mean, every app that you have has bugs. The question is it catastrophic bugs or is it stuff that security leaks? This thing was, at least at the time, able to break into banks and do all kinds of, I mean, it really was able to figure out stuff that it shouldn't have been able to figure out. What, Eitan?
The problem, you could jailbreak it.
You,
So those people basically, when it came out, were able to jailbreak it and use it maliciously to, and bypass all the guardrails because they could, just ask it questions and again, it will do that. So that's why the government stepped in and stopped it. Now, it was just one or two cases that were able to do that. So.
Well, all it takes is one to do something pretty bad. So that's the I understand why somebody would want to not have that. Um, who else? Other AI questions that you may have?
Also, I believe it spends 5 times more tokens, not two
I,
times more.
well, the instructions say, or the paperwork says 2 times, but you could be right. I don't know. Uh, questions?
So the very first AI voice tool that you mentioned, I don't see it in the workbook. What was it again?
Beside,
BESIDE?
yes. And if we miss that, then text me later, and I'll get you whatever I can on that. But understand this: there's just so many tools today. Somebody could say, "Oh, Ed's crazy. This one's better," and from their perspective, they might be right. They might be right.
I just put it in the chat.
Yeah. So you could take a look at that. Open Command Center. I'm going to try and pull up some other apps for you guys to utilize here. Okay, let me just get you this.
And I've got a just quick question for you.
Sure.
So, like I've been demoing all sorts of different CRMs because I cannot find one. The way my mind works and visually the way things need to be laid out, I cannot find one that functions the way I want it to. So I've been like exploring actually building one of my own. I don't have the skills to do it on my own, but I'm wondering, I know it's possible to build one using AI, but is it possible to build a robust one that integrates a lot of the things that you've talked about and you've shown that would be integrated into that CRM that could be connected to it?
Eitan, you want to take that?
Yeah, so I built my own CRM for our purposes, and it is fabulous. It's just,
If he
I
does
mean,
say so himself. All
it
joking
puts
aside, it is pretty good. So
it's put to shame every CRM I've ever seen because
okay,
uh,
Donald Trump. I don't know if that's
it's fantastic. No,
yeah.
it really. So yes, I would say you could definitely, and I can help you. You can definitely build a CRM that exactly fits your business, your clients, your way of thinking. Every little nuance that goes through your head, you should program in there. and yeah,
Would you use Claude Code for that or just Claude?
definitely Cloud Code, yes. And you know, and
I don't have enough tokens.
I've been rebuilding it now for a good I would say 3 months. And just one idea brings another idea that brings another idea, and it just grows and better, becomes better and better, and then I have a series of agents that update it overnight, so it integrates into every possible thing you could ever imagine, brings the information up, and
Well, you could also tell them that one of the things that it's doing is it's researching realtors that are in the news. And
yes,
it will see
so
that if somebody in Yorba Linda, California, or in Tulsa, Oklahoma made a sale, it will actually go out overnight, read the article, prepare an email specific to that person, and then say, "Wow, you accomplished this. Would you like to come to a mastermind?" So now that's the kind of automation that could really be.
well, it would always research them and reach them, finds all their social media outlets, and it will populate the information. It will write their bio. Then it will look if they belong to a team. It will look at all their team members. Then it will reach them. It will enrich those contacts. So imagine if we could. Now the idea is to adapt it to your farm area and actually research every single address in your farm area, the people that are in there, how long they've been in their house, if they have a mortgage or not, and just and besides the press, I also go to licensing portals of the state, and I integrate into that, and I'm able to find actual active realtors and then look them up as well.
Yeah. And we've already, again, nobody today, but we already have participants that have joined us as a result of this specific marketing effort. So now applying it to properties is another thing. You don't want to become a source of spam, I'll tell you that. But this is just so incredibly personalized. I mean, if we see that Hassan just closed like 3 deals and that it was bragged about and all of this, and now you get an email, "Hey Hassan, wow, you did 3 deals, one over here, one over here, one over there. By the way, we have a mastermind. We'd love to have you come try it." You can either poo-poo it and say, "Okay, it's spam," or you would say, "Wow, somebody read that." Um, I just put into the space here, the chat here, the gamified Claude Claude course. So if you click on it, you could actually utilize that and save it and give that a try. Let me know what you think. I'm trying to do a lot of gamified. I like games and I like learning. I've got a gamified Python course that I was building as well. So there's some pretty cool stuff. Greg, who had their hand up? I'm trying to see. Nobody, maybe. You're
I
on
was
mute.
just waving goodbye.
Oh, okay. Bye bye. Okay, guys. Look, good to see everyone. I look forward to seeing all of you next week for another episode of this. If any of you are coaching clients and we don't have anything on the schedule, please, 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 I want to make sure that we always get that scheduled out. If any of you have any questions about this or any of the tools, please do give me a call. Deneen and Kenny, I will let you know about date options and all this because I would love to see you guys. And I look forward to seeing all of you real soon.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Ed.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good
Bye.
one.